Hello, everyone, and welcome to another reading comprehension question. So here we have one of the text, and the direction for question is what? Answer the following questions based on the information given below. Well, before we jump to the question, let's read the text and try to understand what this text is all about. So the text begins with what? Consider a poignant parable from ancient India. Blind men encounter an elephant for the first time, each holding or grasping a different part: the trunk, a leg, the ear. Their limited perspectives lead to wildly disparate understandings of the creature. This allegory illuminates the inherent subjectivity of experience. Even when confronted with objective reality, the elephant's true essence remains elusive. Despite its physical presence, the pursuit of meaning presents an even greater challenge. Not like the elephant's form, meaning is an ineffable concept. It can encompass the grand quest to comprehend the universe, yeah, the universe's fundamental nature, a task undertaken by both philosophy and science. On a more personal level, it can refer to the significance we imbue in our individual lives and the activities that comprise them. What compels us to write each day? Is it a lofty ambition like achieving world peace, or a more immediate need like sustenance or work? Regardless of conscious articulation, these motivators propel us forward. What does it all mean? And why bother? Are profound philosophical inquiries that resonate deeply within the human spirit. We explore historical perspectives on living a good life, ponder the nature of happiness, and confront the question of life's inherent worth. We also draw parallels between the insights of prominent thinkers and delve into the concept of finding meaning in the face of suffering. Life, after all, oscillates between joy and despair. Even amidst abundance, some individuals grapple with a pervasive sense of purposelessness. What fortifies the human spirit and enables us to persevere through life's most daunting struggles. The very word meaning itself can be a source of contention. Analytic philosophers in the mid 20th century often dismissed questions about meaning, particularly the meaning of life, deeming them vague and confusing. Part of the problem lies in the ambiguity of the term. Meaning can signify different things: the denotation of a symbol, the purpose of an object, or personal significance. A statement about what something denotes might be objectively true or false. Perhaps only one interpretation of an ancient inscription is correct. Conversely, both the purpose and the importance of something are inherently subjective, heavily influenced by the values and aspirations of the individual. When contemplating the meaning of life, all three interpretations of meaning can become relevant, further complicating the issue. Despite the inherent challenges, we, we crave a sense of purpose in our lives. We desire to feel that our existence contributes to something larger than ourselves. We may not be pharaohs, we may not be pharaohs building pyramids, but we have a desire for the fruits of our labors to endure. The late Daniel Dennett, a towering intellect in cognitive science, offered a poignant insight. The secret of happiness is find something more important than you are and dedicate your life to it. This edition ventures into the labyrinth realm of meaning, offering diverse perspectives on this fundamental human quest. So we have just read the text, and let me point out what this text actually try to convey. The passage begins with what? The passage begins with nothing but called as ancient India, right? So, parable of a blind man encountering an elephant, illustrating the subjectivity, illustrating what? The subjectivity subjectivity of what experience and the difficulty of holding objectivity reality. This you can say that allegory, this allegory, it's known as a symbol, sets the stage for discussing the pursuit of meaning, which can be both a philosophical and a personal endeavor. The passage also explores questions such as the nature of a good life, nature of a good life, nature of a good life, right? So it is stated that that what you can say that happiness and life's not only it talks about the nature of a good life, happiness and life's worth. It highlights the human struggle to find purpose and joy and despair, even when life's meaning can feel elusive. The passage examines different interpretation of what, different interpretation of meaning, isn't it? So noting that while some philosophers dismissed it as a vague, others acknowledged it complexity. Complexity means difficulty, isn't it? Complexity. You can also say that ambiguity of the term, right? So, despite the changes, right, humans crave a sense of purpose and contribution to something larger. So, finally, if you talk about that, the passage concludes with what Daniel Dennett. Daniel Dennett's insight that happiness comes from dedicating oneself to something greater, right? So in that case, if you talk about uh, the text tries to give the idea about what uh, the that exploring the complex and subjectivity nature of meaning in life, and emphasizing the human quest for purpose and the philosophical challenges that are associated with understanding and articulating this concept. Now, if I look at the kind of a tone we can draw from it is nothing but called as a reflective, and you can say that philosophical, reflective and philosophical. It thoughtfully examines the multifaceted nature of meaning and purpose, considering both individual and broader perspective, right? Beside this tone, main ideas, and the explanation of it, explanation of the text, we also find out style of the passage. So, what is the style of the passage? You can say expository in the nature, expository. It uses an allegorical narrative to introduce complex philosophical ideas and provides insight from historical and contemporary thinkers. The language is analytical but accessible, right? Encouraging readers to reflect on their own understanding of meaning and purpose. Now, let's jump to the question. So, the question asked the assumption the author possibly makes regarding the discovery of meaning is that what? Now, we can say out of these four options, we can find out each of the option and eliminate them and find out our correct answer. The first one, discovering meaning leads to a life free from suffering and existential anguish. Okay. So now, if you look into this, the first option, now what do we find out? While finding meaning might offer solace, right? Discovering meaning leads to a life free from suffering and existential anguish. So we can say that uh, the author actually possibly assumes finding meaning is an ongoing process. Finding meaning is what? An ongoing process, not a one time event. The passage takes into historical perspective and explores different ways to find meaning, suggesting it's a continuous human quest. So on the basis of that, if I look at the option one cannot be the correct one, because while finding meaning might offer solace, the passage does not suggest it. It eliminates suffering entirely, right? So in that case, option one cannot be the answer. If I go for the option two, it is stated a meaningful life is necessary, a life dedicated to grand endeavors or social lives. Now, this one also cannot be considered as the correct one, as the passage explores diverse ways to find meaning, not just grand causes, right, or social causes. So then option three, if we look into the option three, what does it say? finding meaning is an ongoing process, not a single definitive discovery. Finding meaning is an ongoing process, not a single definitive discovery. So, in this case, the option three seems correct, or it is correct. You can say that this option aligns with the passage exploration of the different nature of meaning and the human desire to find purpose thought, throughout life, right? So the hence you can find out option three is the answer. Option four, it enables people to find solace and companionship, companionship among each other. Now, in that case, option four, this doesn't, you can say that assumption to the sentence. We can say that option 4 is incorrect while the passage accepts the challenges in defining meaning. It doesn't imply the pursuit of futile. Hence, we can say option 4 is also eliminated. So 1, 2, 4 are eliminated because of the region provided. Option 3 would be known as the answer to this particular question, right? So hence we can say option 3 would be the correct answer.